Hey guys, it's me again. Today I'm going to be doing a video giving you guys my first impressions on the manga series Made in Abyss. This series was recommended to me by Androidski, who is someone who is frequently watching and commenting on my videos. Androidski is a really cool person. I'd recommend their channel, but they don't have any content. But you know, if you're into that, if you like channels that don't have content, he or she says that they're gonna make a manga channel. They made a manga channel, so I can try to link that if you guys want, because that will eventually have stuff. So yeah, I just figured I'd give some credit to the person who got me into this series before I get started. But yeah, also Androidski. I know you wanted me to message you on YouTube to tell you what I thought of the first volume before I did the first impressions video, but I couldn't figure out how to get that to work. I've never messaged anyone on YouTube before, so I don't know what I'm doing. I didn't know, I mean, I found it. I don't know how to add people though, so sorry about that, Androidski. I hope you'll forgive me. I just couldn't get it to work. So, anyways, I guess it's not too big of a deal, I hope. You can still watch this and hear my thoughts here. So anyway, Made in Abyss is a relatively new series, I take it, because I think it's only going on like 6 volumes right now. I'm sure it'll have more, but it's going on, I think, volume number 6 or 7, so it's fairly new. And it follows these kids and a few more kids in a world where the entire world's been explored. Everything that can be seen has been seen. Everything about the world is known, except for this huge pit where everyone in the story lives, and that pit is called the Abyss. It's super deep. No one's ever seen the bottom of it, because, well, no one's seen the bottom and lived to tell about it, because the deeper you go, as you're ascending, the deeper you went, the worse the repercussions are when you're coming up. So, like, you start off, if you go kind of deep, not super deep, you'll come up, you'll get maybe a headache and some nausea. And then it gets worse and worse. Eventually, you'll start hallucinating. And then there's one, it says if you go to a certain depth and then return, you're gonna bleed from every pore and stuff. So you're pretty much experiencing the Red Death at that point. And if you go even deeper, you're gonna no longer be human, it says, and then even deeper than that, you'll die. So, yeah, pretty intense, but it's the one place in the world that hasn't been explored, so of course people are drawn to it, to the point where they even established a city there. And the kids in this story that it follows are being trained to be cave raiders, and in particular, this girl here, her mom was a white whistle, which is the greatest you can get as far as cave raiders go. That they're the best of the best, and they're considered by most to be just legendary people. They go on to do the greatest stuff. They benefit the human race as a whole here more than anyone else. They bring back some of the coolest stuff from the Abyss. They find out the most stuff about it. They go deeper than anyone else, and they're just idolized by so many people here. But her mom was one of the greatest ever. And so she eventually decides, hey, I'm gonna go try to find my mom. So she's gonna do that eventually. And yeah, so I don't want to say too much more because I get into spoilers and stuff. But I really like the series so far. Androidski, thank you for recommending this to me. One thing I want to point out real quickly is just that the art in here, it's all hand-drawn, it looks like. And, you know, I've never really seen that in a manga. I know usually they do the digital stuff, and you can't really tell that it was at one point hand-drawn, but in this, it looks like they just took a pencil and drew this, made copies of it, and there you go, that's the book. That's what it looks like, and that's really refreshing, because, you know, I like to draw anime/manga stuff in my free time sometimes, so it's cool to see that stuff like that, just these hand-drawn things like that, unaltered in almost any way, can be turned into a manga. So I really like that. That was cool. And again, I've never seen anything like that, so that was pretty cool. I like that. And, you know, it took some getting used to at first, just because, again, I'm used to, like, the digitalized stuff, all those pictures being done with computers and all that. So it almost at first will seem like a bit of a step back from that, but just push on through it, and eventually you'll probably not only get used to it, but as in my case, you might even grow to love it. It's really cool. And then it's also cool because just not the art, I'm moving on past that, but the story as a whole is really cool. This first volume I was warned is kind of slow, but I think I see why they did that. They did a great job at developing the world, and the overall plot, and what's gonna happen. They did a good job at setting the pace for the series, I feel like. And the characters are great. I love the characters. They're all kids around the age of 12. I know it said one of them was 12. I can't remember which, so I figure they all look around the same age, so they're probably all around, like, maybe 10 to 12, I'd say, probably. They look pretty young, and, they are. And, that yeah, while we're on the topic of them being young, Androidski, I'm surprised they showed some of the things they did in this one. You know what I'm talking about, I'm sure. I was really confused and shocked a bit about 15 pages in, probably. Um, yeah, a warning would have been nice, but that's fine. That was a one-time thing. I'm sure that's not a big thing that happens a lot in the series, so I'm not worried about that, but if you guys have read this, you know what I'm talking about. That just threw me off a bit. But other than that, yeah, no, this is a pretty good story, yeah, I think it's lighthearted, but it also just has this sense of adventure, and stuff's gonna happen eventually. That there's gonna be all sorts of insane things where people are gonna be in danger. People are gonna find great things. They're gonna go on just these great adventures that are gonna be really fun to watch pan out in the series. And I'm really looking forward to it. I don't know if the series has an anime yet. If it doesn't, I'm sure it will, just because this series is really good, and I for one think it's deserving of an anime. Now, I don't think it could maintain the hand-drawn art style as an anime, but maybe they'd go for something a bit more like this right here on the cover, or they have these colored pages here. Maybe they go for something like that, but I don't think they'd be able to pull off the hand-drawn art style in an anime, but if they do, that would be cool to see. But either way, I want this thing to get an anime. That would be awesome. But yeah, other than that, I don't have a whole lot to say. I've only read the first volume. I'll update you guys probably after I finish the series or when I'm caught up, and I'll do a review of the series up until whatever point that is when I get caught up. So yeah, guys, definitely check out the series. Let me know down in the comments if you've read the series or if you'd be interested in reading the series. I'd love to see how many people can get interested in this series because of this video, because it's a great series, and I'd love to just help as many people as I can find it and start reading it, because Androidski showed it to me. I love it, so I want to show it to you guys so you can love it. So definitely check this series out. It's worth your time. And again, at 5 or 6 volumes right now, it's not that big of a time commitment, or it's also not that expensive if that's what you're worried about. So I'd say get started while it's still early for the series, so that way as it goes along and more volumes come out one by one, it doesn't seem that expensive because it's a slow thing, and it's also not that time consuming because a volume comes out, take like 45 minutes maybe to read it, and then there you go, you're done and ready for the next one. So not too big of an issue there, so definitely get into it while it's still fresh and new. But if you can't do that, if you want to wait for it to be done before you do that, go for it. As long as you're getting into it, that's what matters right there. But anyway, thank you guys so much for watching. Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. And as always, I will see you guys next time.